again call t1.start. Save this thing. CMD F drive G drive CD space Python program CD space batch 1 py space thread ex.py. Those two threads are getting executed simultaneously, right? If you want to have separate names for them, T is having Avengers.
Anyhow, we are not printing the name of the thread, right?
Yeah, current thread will print so that you'll see the difference, right? Current thread dot get name. What I can take two different names, Dell and Mac. Save this thing. Name equal to, how to give that name equal to Dell. Name equal to Mac. Current thread dot get name. What's that exception we got?
We don't have thread before, right?
When we are executing the method, in that I'm trying to print the thread name. In the method, I'm trying to print the thread name, current thread dot get name, current underscore thread dot get name. You have done the same thing, right? Previously also. What is the exception is showing? The function attribute has no particular thing as current underscore thread dot get name. Get name function is not there. See, let's do one thing. Now let's try this thing. Again, it's saying get name is not there. We have seen that current thread dot get name, right? Oh, I didn't print it. But even though if I don't print it, it's saying the name is not there. Yeah, I didn't give the function actually. We are doing that mistake of not giving that. We can print directly this only. Oh. So Dell, Mac, Mac, Dell, Dell, Mac. So this is simultaneous execution only, right? What join does, it joins the main thread and the child thread. Suppose if I remove this join, Dell Mac got executed, then the Marvels thread, then the Dell and Mac. So this is what main thread is getting combined with the child threads. So if I use a join, what happens? Instead of executing the main thread, first the child threads will get executed simultaneously, then the main thread. That's the advantage of join. Is that thing clear?
Yeah.
Everyone understood what the join is doing. It's joining the main thread and the child threads. That's it. Child
Yes.
threads once gets executed, then the main thread will get executed. If I don't use the join, main thread also will participate while executing that
Yes.
child threads.
Can we write like T1 dot join 2 instead of tjoin?
Yes, T1 dot join also we can write, but that del and mac and del, that's the output is same, right?
Yeah.
Because T1 dot join or T dot join both indicates that main thread will be next. First the child threads.
Sure.
So one is sufficient, right?
Yeah.
Instead of writing two. You cannot join two child threads.
Yes. Yes.
Those will execute simultaneously every time. But we have another next concept which will change it actually. And what's the requirement also we have to see. So those are known as join threads. Okay. So we have a separate thing known as daemon threads. What do you mean by daemon thread means? The threads which are running in the background are called daemon threads. So why we use this daemon threads? Because whenever the main thread is running, if it requires any support, then the daemon thread will provide that support. So what is the daemon thread? Garbage collector. So the garbage collector which executes, that's a daemon thread actually. It provides a support to the main thread. So whenever the main thread runs with low memory, immediately the Python virtual machine runs garbage collector to destroy useless objects or to free the memory. So who will call this garbage collector? PVM. As we are seeing T dot start to execute the thread, internally PVM will call it to execute the garbage collector thread, which is nothing but a daemon thread which provides supports for the main thread, like memory cleanup, which are not being used. The useless objects will be there, right, which are not being point. We can use those particular things. Okay, understood.
Yeah.
So our threads will be daemon. No, those are false. Our thread is not daemon. Next, after this we have is alive. So is alive means, is a thread alive or not? Now tell me one thing, when the memory for the thread is allocated?
When you create the object to run that thread.
When?
We run the start.
Correct, start. So when the start is getting executed, then only the particular thread will start, right? So what I'll do, I'll remove these things. and I'll remove this also. Thread is there, and I want to check whether it's getting executed or not. So print t dot name. It will give the name of the thread is alive. So we have a method known as t dot is alive. A function is there with the name is alive. So whether it will be true or false, is the thread alive or not?
False.
I think it's true.
Because
Also.
thread is not started.
Yes.
After start,
It's still true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
false. So once the thread is getting executed, after that del is alive, true. It's alive, right? But after 2 seconds, if you write again, what will happen? After 5 seconds, false.
False.
Understood?
Yes.
Right. So we have one more concept which is very important. The thing is, multi-threading is good, but we cannot apply for everything. Like consider there are two persons, Rahul and Shiva. What they are trying to do, visit ATM. How thread works usually? When one thread is idle, another thread comes and execute, right?
Mhm.
So if Rahul is a thread, or I'm just saying Rahul is thread 1 and Shiva is thread 2. I'll just say Rahul enters ATM, keeps the card, enter PIN, enter amount. After entering the amount, Rahul will be idle, right? Because he'll wait for the ATM machine to generate that amount or do the transaction. So what will happen at that moment? Rahul comes out, Shiva enters. What happens when Shiva enters? He'll get the money. Money is taken by Shiva. Is it the correct process? Like Rahul money is taken by the Shiva.
No.
Why? Because of this simultaneous execution, right? Whenever the thread is idle, another thread comes and executes. So that's a major problem, right?
Yes.
I need multiple memories, but those threads should execute one after the other. And in order to maintain that, we have a particular concept known as synchronization. What is that concept?
Synchronization.
Synchronization. So here I don't want simultaneous execution. First Rahul enters, after collecting the amount only he should come out. If he is idle, another thread should not come and interrupt. Let it complete his work and then come out. Is this thing clear? Which is very important, like synchronization. So what is synchronization means? Instead of executing simultaneously, it will execute one after the other.
Serious
One
level.
thread. Yes?
The serious level of execution.
Right. Let's see an example for it. Like suppose we'll see how to execute simultaneously, then how to restrict that using the lock. What I can do, let's take a particular thing. I want to wish good morning to Python and Java. So I'll take that name and I want to repeat it. So we'll see which thread is executing simultaneously. So 5 times I want to do it. Print good morning and equals to, because I'm giving a name actually. So what I can write here, time dot sleep, right? So what I'll do, time dot sleep, print that particular name. Okay. Next, I'm creating 2 threads. T1 equals to thread. The target is nothing but wish, and the arguments also we can give. Like whatever the arguments are there, that will be 1, 2, 3, multiple arguments. What I'll do directly, this is a argument, right? Previously we didn't see this argument. Now I can pass that argument along with this target itself. But how to do it? We have a particular known as args, arguments, and what I'm trying to write, Python. The Python is one argument what I have given. In the same way, I'll write it for T2 also.
The Python, we have comma, right? Is it required? We have only one arguments.
Yeah, once we'll execute and we'll have that removed, then you'll understand. If we keep, what happens, if we don't keep, what happens. Save this thing. What's happening? Good morning is getting executed, right? Let's do one thing. So good morning got executed twice. Then after 2 seconds of delay, it has to execute this name. And the name also given out, I guess. So just give me a second. Yeah, Python and Java. Good morning, Python, Java. Good morning, Python, Java. So what's the problem here? We are getting it inaccurately, right? How to solve this thing? We can use the synchronization concept. And you asked whether if we remove this comma, it will work. Save this thing. What's the error it's giving?
Positional argument.
The positional arguments, right? So only one I have to give. So for giving one, I just have to need to give that comma. Okay. Understood?
When you say input parameter, I don't get what is that.
See, previously we didn't see anything like the parameter, right?
We have seen in a normal function, we have seen. So this is not.
Yeah, normal function in the sense we have passed this thing like Python.
Okay.
But this argument is given to the thread, right?
Okay.
What is thread? This is thread, right?
Okay.
T1 has to get that particular argument. So I'm saying arguments. So what these arguments will do, it will be sent to the thread saying that which has an argument. How many arguments we have? One 1.
One.
So how to say that only comma if you give, it will indicate that it's there only 1.
Okay.
If you give another value and keep, then it will be 2, right?
Okay.
Understood.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. See, it's when we want to give only one, then comma should be ended.
Yes.
Okay.
So time dot sleep, I have given this name also, right? And if I write the same thing with 10 times, 10 times in the sense what happens? Let's run this thing. What I've done, T1 I have taken, T2 I have taken, and time dot sleep will sleep.
Which Python is printing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, every time it prints.
it's giving some exception, right? Sometimes it executes differently. Okay, comma, I didn't give it properly. That was the problem actually. Give it internally. It's taking some delay and then printing. But actually it should execute simultaneously. Okay, which Python is given?
Okay.
Yeah. The thing was it's executing now simultaneously, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how to solve this thing? We have a concept known as synchronization, right?
Yes.
So synchronization can be done using 3 different things. We have a concept like synchronization which can be achieved using lock or lock. Okay, and the third thing will be semaphore. So what is lock and or lock and what is semaphore? That we have to see. First thing, what I can do, I'll just do one thing. I'll have this lock. So import time is there. We'll call this particular lock. Lock in the sense it will lock that particular thread. So what the next thing I'm doing here, L dot lock, acquire that lock. Whatever the thread is there, acquire that and lock it. And after printing all that names, we need to release it, right? So what L dot release. Okay. So it should be done simultaneously. So I'll just keep it outside of that particular loop. Save this thing. So good morning Python, it got executed. Good morning Python. So once Python is done, then Java is getting executed, right?
Mhm.
So this is simultaneous execution, right? One after the other.
Yes. Mm.
But what's the problem with the lock? We have a problem. That's the reason we are using this R lock, right? If you call this acquire twice, if you're trying to call this acquire twice, it gives some L dot acquire. It will go into the lock state twice if you are trying to call it. So is it printing? I think it came into the lock state, right?
Yes, it's all
Copy
printed.
this thing. What I can do, I'll try to write this lock here. So it's not coming out actually. You can see it's just got locked. So what's the problem with the lock? If you write that acquire twice, it will lock that particular thread. So G drive cd space Python programs batch 1 py space thread ex.py. So good morning dot displayed. After that, I tried to call the acquire. You can see once after displaying that good morning, I tried to call the acquire. Now, is it printing the any other thread?
No.
Again, you have to close it, right? So what I can do, I can use rlock. But rlock will work only on a condition that if you are acquiring, try to release, then only it will work. Now it's working with that thing, right? But actually you need to understand one thing, that acquire, how many times you're writing, those many times you have to release. If you're writing acquire 2 times, you need to write release 2 times. If you're writing acquire only thrice, release also thrice, it should be written. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
So what is semaphore doing? Semaphore will have the count of threads which are required to be executed simultaneously. Like I cannot allow all the threads. Sometimes our requirement is that a particular number of threads are allowed to access. Let's say like 10 members are allowed to access the database server, and 4 members are allowed to access the network connection. Like different requirements will be there, right? To handle this requirement, we cannot use lock and rlock. We should go for a concept known as what? Semaphore. So what is semaphore? It will allow how many threads we write, the count, based on that count, it will execute. Okay? Understood? So try to execute that semaphore also. I have another session actually. So you try it today. If you're getting or not, just let me know tomorrow. So everything we have covered in the threads. Only the semaphore, I'm giving an assignment to you. Try to work out with the semaphore also. Google it and try to know it and execute. So understood why synchronization is required. Simultaneous execution is problematic sometimes. Like for e-commerce websites also, if you are trying to do that transaction, if you're idle, if some other person comes, it's a different scenario, right?
Yeah.
So that's it for today. We'll see tomorrow the exception. We didn't see the exception concept, right?
No,
No.
we did not.
Yeah, we'll see the exception in the files concept. Okay.
Okay.
And I think we left with the frozen state also, right?
Yeah, frozen set.
Yes, that also I'll cover them. Few topics are there, small topics. I need to cover them also. Okay.
Okay.
And date, current, time module also we didn't cover.
Yeah.
Logging also there. If we complete all those things, we can go with the Django part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So what's the duration? Did Gobi tell you?
Gopi said it will be. He did not say it confirm. He said like a 30 to 30 days to 35 days, something like that. He said one.
We also said 35 days.
Both core and advanced and Django.
He said to me like 55 days or something.
Yeah, Django also if you include. Because Django is also a part, right? You need to have the web development part.
Yeah, he said 35, around 35. He said like it will
Core
depends
Java.
on like a
Core
Gopi.
advanced concepts will be there, right?
Yeah, core advanced and Django. All.
Yeah. That thing it will take. But apart from that, if you have Django is again you need to learn how to do the web application also, right?
Okay. Okay.
Model view controller, MVP process and all, it will take time. Okay?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
okay.
no issues. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we have to.
Okay then.
Okay.
So that's it for today. We'll see tomorrow.
Okay.
Mhm.